without any tools. Like what can I deliver? And so that was a really interesting thing.
Thank you. Rachel, I want to know about some similarities and differences between Tamsin and the Queen. Because they're both very...
I think we only have like 5 or 10 minutes.
They both feel very regal.
Just do the similarities? None. Thank you. Next question.
Yeah, they were so different. It was actually quite, because I finished Law School and then started Reign, I think 3 months later. And I'd been so sort of immersed in just being Tamsin, and ended up taking on qualities within myself, Tamsin, and vice versa. And the line sometimes blurs a bit. And I then am thrown into Reign, and I have an accent and a corset, and playing a character who's not a character at all. She's a real woman who everyone knows all this history about and has ideas about. But one specific scene that we were filming, and I guess I kept rolling my eyes, and the director came up to me and he was like, "So I don't really think Queen Elizabeth does the eye roll." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's Tamsin." So it was hard to switch gears almost. But then I did, and now sometimes when I get mad, my brother's just like, go full British. So I'll just like get mad and start speaking a British accent. I think it really does. So anyway, we'll see what's next.
I like that you point out the corset, because I feel like Tamsin, had you wanted a corset on Law School, Tamsin would have gotten a corset right away.
I don't think so at all. Tamsin wouldn't have worn a corset. She'd be like, what's this shit? I don't know. Bullshit.
Like, maybe I just want Tamsin. Sorry, something to get
Projective.
Hi, this is a question for Emily. One of the things I really liked about Lost Girl was the tagline, "I live the life I choose." I also watched Winona Earp, and I'm watching Winona.
It's good.
It's a good show, right? Winona is sorting out her own calling. Do you like stories about, is this you? Like stories about sorting out vocation? But that's also a thing that happens in hero stories. Like, is it because you're writing hero stories, or is it because you really like watching people wrestle with their calling?
Maybe.
Or yes?
I'm really interested in outsider stories. I'm really interested in the idea of the constant fight. No one in this room is going to understand this, but the constant fight to like become who you want to be versus who society tells you you're supposed to be. I'm just really interested in that with all my characters, because I think that's what it is to be human. Sort of is really like how do you define yourself, and do you get to say who you are and what your own journey is and stuff like that. So there's definitely similarities, but that's okay, right? That's all right. I love that particularly about Lost Girl, and I feel like you really saw that with every single character on Lost Girls. They were really trying to become who they wanted to be and fight expectations of being a Valkyrie or like a human or whatnot.
That was with every character on that show.
Yeah,
It was them figuring out who they were constantly each day.
Except Kenzie, she was like, I'm Kenzie, I'm Kenzie.
I think even Kenzie had a discovery story. I was like, does no one remember when she wanted magic?
Yeah.
She was Jubilee?
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you. Another question?
Thank you guys so much for everything you do. This is mostly for Emily, but also for everybody here. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the sci-fi genre in general, how it seems to be so much more inclusive, and the industry as a whole seems to be more receptive to your pitches and your stories and our stories. And if that has something to do with the suspension of disbelief already that we have with the different world and different rules, or if you have any theories or thoughts about any of that.
Yeah, I think genre has two things going for it. One thing is certainly the genre I like to write, regardless of the fact that people are going through life and death struggles. I like it to be quite joyous and kind of people striving for a better world. You see that on things like Star Trek. So I think I certainly think a better world would be one where we're more inclusive of people in general. But I also think the truth about genre is it's naturally a home for outsiders, right? Like, it's never better than to have a character who's like, what are all these aliens doing here? Like, that's basically what sci-fi is, right? It's people who are kind of in awe of their world and trying to find their place, quite literally. So, as far as diversity, it just seems to be a home for people who maybe seem or feel like natural outsiders already in our society. So there's a little bit of a trick with genre, I find, when you're pitching. Because the world seems exaggerated, as you said, people just tend to be more open-minded because nobody knows what the future is like or what space is like. So it is a home.
But I never hear, like, nobody would ever.
Oh, yeah,
Talk
except the famous network note, which is a Martian would never say that, which is, I guess, this one, like, oh, you know. But, oh my God, I was missing something else. I missed something somewhere. That was all right.
Like,
Definitely more open for that. So, I know what I was going to say, which was totally a compliment, which is I also think genre audiences are incredibly smart. I really generally do. They kind of can take big leaps as far as storytelling and extreme situations. So they just tend to be more open-minded in general. So.
I agree.
And good looking. Woo!
Obviously.
Hi, I'm Anna.
Good name.
Yeah, thank you. My favorite parts of Lost Girl, outside Bo having sex with everyone, was watching Lauren and Dyson vie for Bo's attention and the banter that came between them trying to do that, because they're not entirely cruel to one another, because Lauren understands she needs Dyson because she knows that she won't kill him when she has sex with him, but Dyson also understands that Bo really cares for Lauren and wants to be with her as well. But the greatest example I saw of this was in season 4 with the slow motion Bo washing the car seat. How and where did the idea for that come up? It was brilliant.
Madame Brain. Like sexy stuff. I think it's funny that really hold an ice cream cone.
That did not contain ice cream.
I think I'd seen like Cool Hand Luke, and there's kind of a famous farmer singing that, and I was like, oh, this it was a good sort of portrayal. It was thinking about a teaser as like an encapsulation of the series as a whole. Do you know what I mean? Like you were like, okay, here's 30 seconds for the network that tells you sort of what the show is about. There was a lot of bubbles. Oh my God, Anna was so, I actually remember that day.
Yeah.
And Anna's like so sweet and obviously so naturally sexy, but like it was one of the only times I had to go up to her and say, can you do it sexily? Like, use your bosoms. And Anna was like, yep.
Watch this.
We all thank you for asking her to do that. Zoe, what was it? It was an ice cream, and what was going on in your hand?
Well,
I think it was not dirty.
I think it was vegan.
Yeah.
Vegan-y. Yeah. So I was so excited because I read the script and I was like, oh my God. Like, it takes a long time to do a scene. So I was like, I'm gonna be eating ice cream for like hours. And it was awful. What is this? They were like, well, so Anna's, you know, and you have to, and I'm like, no. I don't know, if somebody couldn't have ice cream, it was real ice cream.
You have to have vegan ice cream.
Oh,
vegan ice cream.
no, here's what it is that I think that because Anna was in most scenes on the show, whenever something was on set food, it was just innately made to be vegan food. And then I come along and I'm like, can I have ice cream? So that's what happened. I was like, is this Anna's? She's riding all over the car. Do you mind if I have some ice cream?
You are my editor.
Yeah.
You can roll around.
Yeah.
And make that.
Oh my God.
That sounds good.
It's true.
It'll be a bout of ice cream.
It's like it, I've never done it. But I imagine it's a bit like whipped cream with sex.
Good idea on paper. It's a good idea on paper.
Because I often see it on paper.
You're all thinking about it now.
We have another question. You all could stop thinking about it.
I still am.
I got a cue from Rachel, a request. I think we're all pretty into that dance-off scene, and I was wondering if you could see some.
What was it now?
Who was doing that beat?
I was like, we're like. When they were like, because Ksenia is such a brilliant dancer and so focused and talented, and they were like, and when they asked us to do a dance off, in my mind, I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to dance against Ksenia, because I'm not very good. And they're like, can you dance badly? Yeah. And I'm like, every Saturday night. So that was choreographed, but like the jazz hands.
So good. Your face in that scene is so good too. It's so sincere. It's just like, oh.
Well, that's because it wasn't serious.
Your cast is so talented, not just as actors, but Ksenia as a dancer. Were there any skills that you have that you were like, can we do this? I really want to show off that I can do this. Zoe? I just feel like Zoe has something.
I don't know. I always wanted to do a scene where we just found Lauren at a club. Like just raving.
like at a club, because we saw her singing.
Yeah,
and dancing.
Yeah, we did. You mean Flora? Yeah, that was Flora. That was
Florida.
yeah.
I see.
But yeah, I just thought it would be like I just always we once upon a time mentioned After Hours Lauren. I kept thinking, what does that look like? What does that really look like? But no, I don't know. Did you? Was there something you always want to do?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with football movies. Like, I actually don't know anything about football. Like, I don't understand the game. I love football movies. It's really weird. And I really loved that, like, when I got to be a cheerleader and a football player. And I was like, yeah, it was so much fun. And then we had this, actually, never mind, I can't tell the story. It's, like, a little weird. But
You can't leave it with that.
There was that they hired this football team to come in and play. And like in high school, I was not like the cool kid.
No actor ever is, by the way.
Yeah, never. And you know, I like there were like boys that I liked, and like they never noticed me, and I'd like know their whole schedule and like stalk them. And anyway, so I'm playing football, and they hired this like high school football team. And at the end, the quarterback was like, so might be moving to LA next year to go play football. Want to go on a date? Honestly, there was a moment where I was like, yes. Like, but you were 12 years younger than me, so yeah, sorry. But yeah, those guys are just like my whole, just.
You were immediately validated from high school.
I was. Like my 15-year-old self was just like, so that was fun. Anyway.
Emily, were there any skills that you wanted to write in for someone, but they couldn't do it?
No, there was nothing they could not do.
They kept trying. They kept putting stuff in and being like, you're doing this.
No, it was such an incredibly talented cast. And they were so game, like they were so dedicated to the show. I really always felt like that. We had fun.
We totally did.
Right?
We
We had
really
fun. So they were always like, yeah, we'll try it, we'll do it. It was such an amazing show because you could try stuff.
Yeah.
No.
It was a tri-stuff show.
It was a try stuff show.
And I say that, but it really was. It was very
It's really
cool.
unique.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It feels like that should have been a slogan. It's a tri-stuff show.
Oh, no, that's the, like,
Try
You know,
this,
you know,
try
like
that.
this. I mean, Bo was just gonna try stuff. I'm gonna try stuff. Awesome. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
And tonight we have the cocktails for change. We have the sinful party. Rumor is you never know who's going to show up. Hint, hint, I think you all should go.